So next we'll see sigma levels. So uh, so what we have done is, since it is Six Sigma, just one second. Since it is Six Sigma, so any defect percentage in any process, manufacturing process, what we'll do, it is not measurable. The defect is not measurable. So what we do is we calculate not in terms of percentage, we calculate in terms of million. Say for example, there is a 1% defect. You check some samples, out of 100, one part it was some defect. It can be a crack or something. So you say it's a 1% defect, but 1% seems to be acceptable. But in Six Sigma methodologies, we say for defect for million opportunities. Per million, how much will calculate? If it is 1% for 100, if it is 1, what is for 10 lakh? That is nothing but 1 million. It will be 10,000. So if you run 1% defect rate for million, it will be 10,000 rejections. So when you say in terms of million, what happens? The intensity of the problem will be highlighted in a bigger way. Therefore, we say in terms of per million. So now what is a sigma level? So now you understood we are going to calculate the defect in terms of per million, right? That is defects per million opportunities we call. Now, before this, previously exams were there. So it is for we were telling in percentage. What's your percentage? 85 percentage, 90 percentage result. So that is for percentage you're telling. Now what they're done, they're telling in CGPA grade 8.5, 7 out of 10 they're giving a rating in the engineering colleges, right? So it's nothing but the 100 percentage whatever is there, you are showing in terms of 10 numbers, right? If your CGPA is 7.5, what is the meaning? 75% result. Instead of 100%, you're telling in the numbers. In the same way, the entire million, 10 lakh, whatever is there, 10 lakh, per 10 lakh we're telling, no? That we are uniformly dividing it for 6 levels. 6 levels. And if you achieve each level, we say this much is the defect that you're going to produce per million. So in the same way, when you produce the second level, 2 sigma level, if you achieve, this much defects you'll produce per million. Like that 3, 4. When you achieve sixth level, you will produce only 3.4 defect per million. So this is just categorized for the entire per million to the 6 sigma level, 6 levels. So that is a sigma level. Now, approach in Six Sigma. For any defects and defectives and dimension failure, we calculate the defective per million opportunity instead of percentage. Say example, there is a product, there is a dent mark, light dent mark. It is a defect. There is a light scratch mark. It is a defect. And it is acceptable. When the defect is acceptable, the non-conformance acceptable is called as defect. When it becomes a crack, it's no more a defect, it's a defective, we need to scrap it. So therefore, we ignore these things. Many Six Sigma institute calculates opportunities also, but it will become too much prediction, over prediction. So we take only defectives, that which is trying to scrap are the major defective. And dimension failure is also defective, right? These two things we'll consider, we'll calculate defective per million. Per million we calculate. Now let us see some example. For example, only 1% of the people are not educated in India. Is it good to hear? You may think, oh, only 1%. No, 99% of the people are educated, but you can tell like that. So let us calculate per million. So approach in Six Sigma. For example, only 1% of people are not educated in India. Is it good to hear? Let us see. Let us calculate for million. Total population is 1300 million. Per million is equal to 1 divided by 100. I am removing the percentage into 10 lakh. That is nothing but million. So for 1 million, 10,000 people will not be educated. Therefore, the 1300 million, 1.3 crore people will not be educated. So when you say in terms of million, the intensity or the full-fledged result will be shown that shows the right intensity. Now if you say 1.3 crore people not be educated in India, so that's a major drawback, right? Since in Six Sigma we always use per million opportunities, we calculate for million. So approaches in Six Sigma. For any defect and defectives and dimension failure, we calculate the defective per million opportunity instead of percentage. For defect, it is defect per million opportunities, same formula. For defectives, parts per million opportunities. For dimension failure, parts per million opportunities. Approach in Six Sigma. For defect, defect per million opportunities. So in same way, there is a defect, and if it is for 1% per million, it is 10,000. So some examples are there. So that is they given in detail. So in a simple way, we are going to consider only the defective, because there are two formulas for defect and defectives also. So we'll consider only for defective. So example, you checked 100 parts, you got 8 defect. 8 defect. In that 6 defect, yes, in that 8 defect, 7 defect are acceptable, and one defect is cracked, it's a major, then you have to consider only 1%. So the one of the formula will consider 8 as an opportunity. Then what happens, per 100 it is 8, then for million it will become more, therefore we can take only defective. So next we'll see what is variation. So what is variation? This is a definition for variation. A variation is a difference that can measure that can be measured for the same entity. The entity is same. Example here, the rabbit is same. What is a variation? The size is the variation. So this we can say it is a small rabbit. This we can say it's a medium rabbit. This we can say large rabbit. The rabbit has a size variation, and the variation can be measured here. Next, a variation can be the deviation from the required value. Spec small to medium rabbit. Say your spec is only this, only between these two they have to produce. Example. Now this has come. This is called, these two are variation, and this is called out of spec, called deviation. The large rabbit deviated from the spec. So now you understood what is variation and what is deviation. Now in the below example of data, now the dimension has come 4. So you say okay for this specific, for this dimension 4 plus or minus 1 mm. Dimension is 4, you say okay, and comment you can say parts measuring in the mean, correct? Then it has come 3, then still you say okay because the 3 is within a specification, and you say parts are measuring towards lower side, but still it is okay, and you say it is a variation because there is a change from the middle value, right? Now the third one is 3.5, and still you say okay, and you say part is 0.5 mm more than the LSL. This is also called variation. Then you say 6 mm, you say not okay. Why? Because parts is measuring oversize by 1 mm from the upper specification limit, therefore that called as a deviation. In the same way, deviation, variation, deviation. So variation that happens within a specified limit or given specific limit. Deviation is out of specification. Now let us see measures of variation. What are ways we can measure the variations? Following are the ways we can measure the variation. One is with the range, second with standard deviation, third delta between two numbers, then delta between master and the measured. So what is range? Let me tell you in the, say example your data is 1, 2, 3. So what is the range? Maximum value minus minimum value is the range. 3 minus 1. So you can say 2 mm there is a variation. So what is standard deviation? Say example your data is 1, 2, 3, and your sigma is 1 from the standard that you the middle value from the 2. So you can say sigma is 1. So positive 1 mm, negative 1 mm. Delta between two numbers, say 1, 2, 3. From first number to two, first reading to second reading, 1 to 2 there is a 1 number variation, 2 to 3 there is a 1 number variation. Suppose the third is 5, then 3 to 5 it is 2 variation. So delta between two numbers, only you can compare two numbers and say the difference. The fourth one is delta between master and the measure reading. See, there is a slip gauge and the standard is 5 So you're going to check whether it is same as per the whatever standard. You're going to take a micrometer and check it the thickness and say 5.01. Then 10 micron will be your delta between your master and the measured reading. So this can be used for the standard gauges or some standard specimens example. Now, first one is range. Range is defined as the overall jump of the set of data. So here some data is there 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. So minimum value is 3 and maximum is 9. So 9 minus 3, 6. So overall there is a 6 jump they are telling. That is the range. Next, standard deviation. Deviation from the standard which divides the variation equally for each data. So as we saw, the data is 1 to 3. So the middle value is 2. From 2, 1 positive variation is there, 1 negative variation is there. So sigma is equal to 1. When sigma is both the side variation. That means from the middle value, both positive and negative will have variation. If sigma is 1, positive 1 variation is there, negative 1 variation is there. If sigma is 2, positive 2 variation is there, negative 2 variation is there. That is the meaning. Delta between two numbers. So as I said, we can compare the two numbers and say this is the variation. Here for 4 to 5, the delta is 1. Delta between master and the measured reading. Say master instrument measuring is 5 and a new instrument is measuring 5.1. So therefore 10 micron is your difference. Next we'll see the impact of variation. The part dimension capability will reduce. If the variation is more, what happens? The dimension capability will reduce. Then yield of the process will also reduce. Then can lead to functionality variation even if it is within the spec of the drawing. When the variation is more but still you are within the spec only, then also there may chance that the functionality will have a variation. It is very important to reduce the variation. We need to reduce the variation. So how you're going to reduce the variation? For the specified output that you want, we need to find out what are all the significant parameters is effective and fine tune all the significant parameters, set those significant parameters to achieve only that particular required output. Therefore, what happens? Everyone will try to work, or everyone will be set to achieve only one output. Therefore, the variation will reduce. Impact of variation. As the variation of the process reduces, the consistency of the product and process increases. That's what they're telling here. As the variation reduces in any process parameter or product parameter, consistency and capability increases. That will improve the yield. So next we'll see corrective and preventive action.